Imagine your nerves are like a swing. Every time someone does something you don't like, they give you a push. Suddenly, you're soaring into a tailspin of cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart starts racing, and your ability to think logically just flies out the window. When that happens, you're living in reaction mode to everyone else's behavior. You aren't the boss of your own life, they are. In her work, Mel Robbins introduces a psychological tool for emotional regulation. It's a tool that helps you create a tiny but incredibly powerful gap between the trigger and your reaction. You'll discover that true power isn't about controlling people, it's about letting them be exactly who they are. So you can focus on becoming the version of yourself you actually want to be. The illusion of control. Let's be real, most of us spend our lives trying to manage everything and everyone around us. We try to control people's opinions, their moods, and their choices. We convince ourselves that if we just explain our point of view a little better, plan every detail perfectly, or show up as perfect, people will finally act the way we want them to. And when they don't, we end up on a hamster wheel of overthinking. We replay the scene 100 times in our heads, editing what we said, burning through our mental energy thinking about how we should have handled it. But what if there was another way? There's a phrase going viral lately, let them. It sounds simple, but its impact is life-changing. A coworker gives you a dirty look in a meeting. Let them. Your family judges your life choices. Let them. Your friends plan a weekend trip without inviting you. Let them. Suddenly, that knot in your chest starts to loosen. You stop carrying a burden that was never yours to begin with. To be clear, let them doesn't mean checking out or suppressing your feelings while you're boiling inside. It's different. You aren't running away from your discomfort. You're simply letting go of the rope you were using to try and pull reality into the shape you wanted. The second half, and let me. If you stop at let them, you might end up feeling detached or lonely. The real magic happens in the second part of the equation, and let me. Once you stop trying to control how others live, you have to turn the spotlight back on yourself and ask, okay, so what am I going to do now? Mel Robbins tells a story about scrolling through social media and seeing her friends on a girls' trip she wasn't invited to. She felt that pit in her stomach, the mix of rejection and insecurity that takes you straight back to middle school. Her instinct was to text them, try to fix it, or figure out what she did wrong. Instead, she said, let them. Let them go on the trip. Let them have fun. Their choice doesn't diminish her value. But she didn't stop there. She moved to let me. Let me focus on the friends I actually want to grow closer to. Let me plan something fun for myself. Let me stop spinning in a cycle of things I can't control and start taking responsibility for my own happiness. Let them helps you detach. Let me gives you the power to move. Influence versus control. Here is a hard pill to swallow. You cannot make anyone change. Not your partner, not your boss. And not your kids once they grow up. People only change when they decide they're ready. The more you push, the more they'll dig their heels in. Pressure doesn't create change, it creates resentment. Behavioral science backs this up. Real change comes from intrinsic motivation, not external pressure. People are more likely to evolve when they feel safe, supported, and inspired, not when they feel like they're under a microscope being judged. This means your influence is actually strongest when you stop forcing and start accepting. In your relationships, instead of nitpicking, let them be who they are today. Then, let me decide, do I want to set a boundary? Do I want to focus on my own growth? In your career, if a colleague ignores your idea, let them ignore it. Then, let me decide, do I pitch this somewhere else? Or do I just move on to the next project? Closing the gap. At its core, this is about emotional regulation. You are creating a sacred pause that prevents stress hormones from flooding your system. You move from an impulsive, why are they doing this? To a logical, what is my best next move? Accepting reality doesn't mean you don't have standards. It just means you've stopped wasting energy wishing reality was something it's not. The moment you accept that you can't control their actions, you are finally free to control your own. You stop being a victim of their choices and start being the architect of your own peace of mind. Start small. The next time you feel that surge of annoyance, take a deep breath. Say, let them. Let them be late. Let them be rude, let them be wrong. Then ask, and what about me? How do I want to spend my next hour? What kind of energy do I want to bring to this day? You aren't withdrawing from life. You're reclaiming your power. And that is where the real transformation begins. And that's a wrap on our quick deep dive. I hope this summary gave you that aha moment you needed today. Remember, let them be, and let yourself grow. Catch you in the next one.